Yeah, we can do Warcraft.
Let's do it. So I haven't touched the game since last time.
That's cool. We'll start with the Ogre pool.
I was just telling my viewers what I did with the hotkeys.
Very good.
Just that if anyone else is trying to play this game from scratch, I would highly recommend you guys do the same.
To explain what Viper did, guys, he went for a grid hotkey that you found it somewhere on the internet from someone, right?
I just googled custom hotkeys Warcraft 3 and it was pretty much one of the first things.
So it's grid, but it's better, where A move is on attack. So they reordered A move, where normally it's in the top right of the control panel of the command card, and they put it where the A hotkey is. And I saw it, and I approve it. Okay, I would like to help you understand some of the micro mechanics rather than a full game playthrough. That went pretty well last time. You got to Castle Age without intending.
Castle Age, yeah?
Yeah, well, Castle Age. You got to Castle Castle Age A. You got to Castle without intending to. You're able to constantly make footies, even though that's really bad.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's good macro. Just going over upkeep with useless units. And then we had footies against Griffins. We're going to try to do some target practice. Specific micro skills. And we begin. So when you begin, just start your normal economy, but we're not looking to win and finish the game and play a normal game. I'm looking to teach some micro mechanics because more than anything, almost, it's important that you understand how the units work on the engine level.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly how the build was with the like four of the workers were supposed to become call to arms and all that stuff. I know.
You don't have to do any call to arms this time.
Okay.
So we make an altar, 2 slots away from the town center. Not a farm yet.
Oh, farm was too fast?
Let's restart.
Okay.
We will start. I know it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks, guys.
Has it been 2 weeks? Is it not just a week and a half?
Almost, because we did it on a Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
right.
Week and a half.
Yeah, I just need like a quick rundown of the opening build, and then I will have it in my brain again.
Makes total sense. Okay, so the opening build order is going to be 4 on gold, 1 peasant on altar. Then the next peasant makes a barracks. And if you want to add a little bit of efficiency, you can have it start a farm for 2 seconds first and then make the barracks. Okay. This is optional. Little efficiency thing.
And the farm is part of my wall.
Yes. I would say it's easiest to keep 1 gap opening to begin with, and that gap can be anywhere you want, basically, for now, until we get better at base building.
So altar, 2-second farm, barracks.
Yeah, and that's the first new peasant makes the 2-second farm.
Yeah, gotcha.
Then the next peasant continues that farm. Then the next peasant makes the 2nd farm, and then the next peasant fills up your gold mine to 5.
And is all this going to happen before they finish any of the buildings?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So...
And then soon after, the 5th peasant goes in gold. Maybe 5 or 10 seconds after, the first 2 peasants start finishing their initial job of the farm and the altar. And all of those peasants get shifted to wood, to the wood line they're closest to.
Right. And I never want to build the same building with 2 workers.
Yes, this costs money.
Opening, for sure, yeah.
Okay. There used to be a build where, but yeah, not in the meta. So let's begin with that.
Why is Mutant an observer?
I don't know. He's not anymore.
Enough pressure having 1 referee.
After we do the initial build, so this will be a 2-part. Yeah, let's go ahead and start. Good.
Yes, me lord. What is it?
It's intense.
Ready to work. Yes, me lord.
Oh, you would have wanted that farm on the left side of your town hall. It's okay now, because then you have less walking time.
Yeah,
next one goes on the farm.
Ready to work.
So all of these have a gap. It doesn't immediately start if you click the... Yeah. The next makes another farm. So full disclosure, you've got 1 gap in between all of your buildings, but that's fine. We can improve that later.
Okay. Because I have to pretty much make them touch each other.
Yeah, that's a full wall.
Okay, gotcha.
So now the next goes in gold, and you can start taking the left 2 peasants and shift clicking them to the left tree, and the right 2 peasants and shift clicking them to the right tree.
If I go there,
And now all new town hall goes to the trees, and click your altar. You want to hit that hero. There we go, ASAP. Perfect. Let's take a pause, which you can do by pressing F10P, I think. All right. So here's how rallies works, first of all. So think of the altar and any building as having 4 exit points. Top left, top right, and bottom right.
Each corner.
Yeah. When you set your rally flag of the altar or any building, it thinks of, like, you could set the rally flag somewhere in the opponent's base, in the bottom left. It will see which corner is nearest,
Right.
and then it will spawn from that place.
Okay.
So it splits it up into a horizontal and a vertical line into 4 quadrants, and it will say, well, if it's in that quadrant, then it spawns out from that corner. If that corner is blocked, it will rotate clockwise to find the next nearest adjacent point to that corner point, and it will spawn
Always.
from there instead.
Okay,
Always.
Always clockwise.
Always clockwise. So you see the orange camp to the bottom right of your base?
Yes.
There's a, yeah. So that orange camp, if you click towards it, your hero will try to spawn in a tree that it cannot reach.
Right.
And then it will rotate. Wait, is it counterclockwise? Let me see.
Well, if it's clockwise, it would come out southwest, no?
Yeah. It will come out southwest. It's counterclockwise, actually.
Oh, okay, so it would come out on the top right, so it will be very inefficient.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
So you want to put it to the bottom right of your altar and then shift it. Yeah, it is counterclockwise. I knew it by feeling once I realized how on this map it always goes wrong when you don't pay attention. So you want to rally it right under your farm
Yeah, and then,
and then shift it towards the orange. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And this is also a way where if you are human and you have a full wall off, you can easily plan where your hero pops out. Either on the inside and safe and therefore unkillable, or on the outside and therefore joining the adventure on the map.
Right, right.
Okay.
In this case
We
as
can
well,
go-
because you said I have 1 tile gap between every building. Is there also a tile gap between my altar and the wood, in theory?
No. So there are hard edge buildings and there are soft edge buildings. If you build a if you build a soft edge against another soft edge building, there's always a gap, even when they touch.
What qualifies as soft edge buildings?
So you cannot tell, you just have to know.
Okay. Great.
So the altar, the farm, and the lumber camp and the blacksmith are all hard, but the barracks and the town hall are soft.
Okay.
Altar soft too, actually. Altar soft too, sorry. Farm, blacksmith, and lumber mill are hard. None of them produce units. Maybe that helps.
Okay, yeah.
And all the buildings that produce units are soft.
Okay.
Except Griffin Aviary, which is an air building. So basically, I think this is actually the rule. If they are producing ground units, they're soft, and if they don't produce ground units, they're hard. So then you give too much information. No, it's fun this way.
I like it. Like for me, like I think a lot of information is good for me because I will store it in the back of my mind, and when I forget it and it's brought up again, I will be like, ah, yeah, right, and then I have
think
that.
so too.
I think it's helpful.
Yeah. So if a hard edge touches a hard or a soft edge, it's a full block.
Right.
It's only when 2 soft things touch each other that you can go in between.
Okay.
Don't get distracted. So
Sorry.
if the altar touches the town hall,
Yeah.
there's a gap. If a barracks touches the town hall, there's a gap. If a workshop touches the town hall, there's a gap, because all of those create ground
Yeah.
units.
But a farm,
But a farm touches the town hall, that's a full wall.
then it's hard.
Blacksmith, yeah, that's hard. Blacksmith, lumber mill, touch a farm, touch a town hall, that's fully walled off. And then finally, trees are always hard as well. So even
Right.
when you do a diagonal corner touch of a soft or a hard building against a tree, that's a full wall.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna mess that up a lot, but
But you'll know why at least.
I'll understand why and realize, yeah. And slow and steady, I'll figure it out.
Okay, cool. So your opening, let's do opening before I get too much into the micro mechanics. I want to teach you a build order that you'll be mostly using today at first. It's going to be kind of a fast tech without too much tier 1 value.
Okay.
All right, so your build order is going to be 3 footmen, 2 farms, no third farm, and only 8 peasants on gold. And that's going to make you exactly 24 out of 24.
8 peasants on wood.
Yeah, and then you'll tech.
Yeah, okay.
So no new farms after this, which also means you won't get to fix your open layout and you're very harassable. But next time we'll do barracks to wood into a farm against TC, and then altar to wood into a farm against TC with 1 gap opening.
Yeah. So
All right.
in this case, let me just think. So this is also a viable build compared to the other one where you do the call to arms mechanic and go to the camp.
You'll
right
still
away.
be doing call to arms for creeping.
Okay, okay. So that will still be a part of this build.
Yeah, the difference is you're not going like 4 or 5 footmen. You're not getting defend upgrade.
Right.
That's the only difference.
Okay.
Okay, 5 on gold, 8 on wood eventually, and you'll know because you'll be at 20 food, and then at 22 and 24, and that's your final footy.
Okay.
Let's go.
And will I have resources to advance during this, or only once I've reached the 24 upkeep?
Yeah, once you've reached. Good question. It's like 5 to 10 seconds after your 3rd footman has been started.
Okay, okay. Cool.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Ready to work. Yes,
That's
me
6
lord.
on gold there.
Job's done.
Okay, nice find.
Job's done. All gold.
There's your 2nd footman. You want to cancel that because you need another peasant first.
Okay, is there a hotkey to cancel here?
Escape.
Okay. Okay, that's nice.
It's very nice, and I miss it in AoE where it means deselect.
Yeah.
Okay, now you start grouping those 4 peasants on the right to make them into militia. And the final peasant, you make 1 more footy.
Oh, I made the militia up too fast, I think.
It's a little bit too fast, but it's all right. Start moving to the orange camp. Okay, good. Everything go. Water elemental summon, bring everything close. Send water elemental in first, bring it closer. Otherwise your elemental dies too quick. Kill the ogre and then the greenest troll. Yeah, now you're gonna have 12 seconds until you tech, roughly.
The greenest troll, I like the description.
Yep, pick up the item. It's a clause. It's gonna make you attack faster. I mean, it's gonna make you attack with higher damage.
I think I made one too many peasants. No, I did not.
You're good. Perfect. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now let's send those peasants back to work, and you're gonna idle inside your base for a bit.
Yes, me lord.
We're gonna take all your army and go inside your base.
Oh, my army wants to go inside the base.
Yeah.
More work.
We are simulating that you could get harassed now. Human always gets harassed. You always are on the defensive first.
Okay.
You've got 60 wood. Let's make a blacksmith against the trees on the left. Yeah, there, exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. Now you have 20 wood. Let's make a farm.
Oh, that's
Underneath it.
hard.
Okay, now you're gonna make an arcane tower, a scout tower, actually.
Okay, let me find out what that's this one. Make it. Oh, I can't do it. Is that fine? That position?
Yeah, that's a full wall now against your town hall, so that's it can be a good thing. I would have made it 1 higher, considering you already have an open base design.
Okay. But keep in mind, the idea is not to have an open base design. It's by accident.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I know. So, okay, so you're getting harassed now. Go ahead and summon a water elemental. Someone is harassing you. You're fighting. You're microing, whatnot.
Oh, I am. Okay, I was looking.
Yeah.
Where am I being attacked?
Okay. No, it's in theory. Send the peasant back to work. Make this into an arcane tower.
Which peasant?
There's one right over your scout tower.
Oh, right. Ah, he was hiding well.
Yep. You're
What?
gonna want to make that scout tower into an arcane tower. And then you're gonna make 1 more farm. Note how you're 24 under 30. A hero costs 5. So extra farm is needed to now start a rifleman and still be able to make a mountain king at some point.
Okay.
Okay. So you can make another farm now as well. Just go ahead and start another one to make sure we're all ready for the extra rifle as well. Perfect.
So would it make sense to just have this guy make another one, like the guy who's building one initially, or is it better to build two?
In this case, you kind of need two because a farm is 6 food. For other races, it's like 10, but for human, it's only 6. They're quite cheap. And a hero costs 5, so you wouldn't be able to keep producing rifles. And you want to start another rifleman now.
Okay. I was
But
queuing
now
up-
you immediately start the mountain king. And then if you want to, you can make one more peasant now. The reason we didn't make the peasant before is because we wanted to stay on just 2 farms. But I'm assuming you would have had to do some defense with your peasants. You might have even less lumber than you have now. And it can be nice to like make it now. The point of this build is to get Mountain King out as quickly as possible. We're investing less in early game creeping. And we just want to get that MK out to start power leveling him. And he's got some nice skills that can kill units. Now
Okay.
you're going to make 1 Arcane Sanctum. And ideally you make it as quick as you have 150 wood. But, you know, there's been more to talk about.
Does it matter where I build it?
No. I mean, not in front.
Okay, so I will build in the back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you don't want to get those peasants harassed. And you're going to power build that with either 2, like total 2, or 3, or 4. Kind of depends on your prediction if you will have enough resources to immediately utilize it. So now you're supply blocked, so you would actually not want to power build it with 3, as you won't be able to use it anyway. You want to make a farm. Yeah. But the idea is, the moment you have enough wood, you want to make up for lost time. Because you didn't have enough wood immediately. Your goal was to get your Mountain King as quickly as possible.
Right.
And then once you hit that wood, you want to make up for lost time and get your first caster out as quickly as possible.
Okay, is there any point here where I would want to build a lumber camp?
So,
Lumber mill?
yes, lumber mill or lumber camp. In this game, especially on this map, you can see how like your right side peasants are kind of far away.
Yeah.
And you could have put them on the top trees instead, which was a little bit of a better route. Some maps have wood closer nearby, and the lumber camp is only 120 wood. So yes, I think you could have done that for sure. This build, it's a little bit of an advanced build. It tries to cut out as many unnecessary costs as possible. For example, you could have gone for a lumber mill, and you could have gone for an arcane vault. Arcane Vault gives you the ability to bounce back from damage taken with an early regeneration scroll, and Lumber Mill gives you more wood. But with this one, we are counting every penny so much that we're trying to get as many rifles out as possible, get the quickest possible Mountain King, and the Lumber Mill would have easily delayed your Mountain King for like 10 seconds. And in that case, you know, you're not starting to creep your MK as quickly. And by now, you don't need lumber anymore, ever.
Okay. So in theory, this build is about, it's a bit greedy. It's high tech and like just greedy opening and try to take advantage of that.
Yeah, the greed here is by not making many footies, you can't creep as much. You cannot do an aggressive footman run by attack where you try to harass workers. You don't defend as easily as well. And you get more rifles for that in return, which is a higher quality mid-game army. Rifles have damage, they're sturdy, they're just like good all-around shooters. They can beat the thing that they are supposed to counter, and they can beat their counter to a degree. So like they don't really have a super hard counter until much later in the game. And because you're making your Mountain King a win condition here. So rifles are also a win condition. They can do good damage, they can win battles, they can creep fast. But really, you're putting a lot of extra investment into getting your MK as quickly as possible, and then having a high DPS unit, the Rifleman, to creep as quickly as possible to make that Mountain King dangerous. And then you can try to hit certain timings. So there are many different timings in Warcraft 3. Mountain King 1, the quicker he comes out, the quicker you have access to Stormbolt, and therefore the ability to stun and damage someone from range and focus them down and kill them. Once you get level 3, you can upgrade one of your abilities, either Stormbolt or Thunderclap. And then you can get to level 4 eventually. Now you've got 2 level 2 abilities, which is cool, but they both cost mana. And so the level 3 is a huge power spike. 4 is not as big of a power spike usually.
Okay.
First of all, it takes longer to get there. And secondly, you still only have level 2 abilities. So the uneven levels are really big. 1, 3, and 5. And then you try to use a high level ability. If you can use that to immediately win a battle, either out in the open or in their base, that's called, using that level 3 timing.
Okay. Couple of follow-up questions.
Yep.
Is my aim with this build to creep hard or attack my opponent, or is it more about adapting to what's happening?
So initially you sacrifice Archmage levels. You're standing in your base for a bit in expectation of getting harassed. If you don't get harassed, you go to the next green camp and then the next.
Okay.
Right? But your base, notice how you made the Arcane Tower after taking up to tier 2? It's another way where we cut initial defense and therefore we are forced to stay at home. There are builds that make the Arcane Tower and for it to finish by the time an opponent even gets to your base. So that's a lot safer. That allows you to leave and not even come back for initial hero harassment. So the aim for this build is to attack fast, get that MK out, and then your goal, it can be different. So you don't have a lot of lumber surplus initially, so you cannot typically expand with it. And your Archmage isn't high enough level to do like big... your Archmage isn't high enough level to make it a win condition. In fact, when you start creeping, you may even pull your Archmage away to only level your Mountain King. Once he's level 3, either that can mean when an opponent attacks you during creeping, you can just kill him there. Or once you get level 3, you immediately attack. But that's kind of based on the game state. So you don't exactly know where it's going to go yet.
Yeah.
Once you get 3, you can also just try to get 5 next, or 4.
Okay.
Or you can attack them in their base, but it depends on a lot of different things.
Follow-up question. If I have both my heroes attacking or creeping together, they share XP then?
Yeah, 50-50.
So there's a fixed XP pool they get, and they take share of that. So if I pull one away, the other one gets more.
Correct.
Okay.
When 2 heroes are nearby creeps and you kill them, they both get 50% of the original value of the creep, but higher level heroes get less XP from creeps than lower level heroes. So if there is a total of 100 to split between 2 level 1 heroes, they get 50 and 50 XP. Right. But if they are level 4 and 3 and there was 100 to give, maybe they get like 42 and 38.
Okay. But in theory, in this case, I want to level up my Mountain King because he has a bigger power spike. So I might want to pull my Archmage away.
Yeah, there can be different designs. So like right now you're level 1.8. So you're going to creep the first green camp with both of them, get your Archmage 2, and then you make a decision whether you're now going to try to aim for 2-2, 2-3, or 3-2.
Okay. So I would still...
That's a decision.
I would still use my Archmage to spawn the Water Elemental and then just run away.
Yeah, or even if there's a big creep, you would keep hitting that creep and only remove it right before it's gonna die.
Okay, how big is the distance until they don't get affected?
Power build a workshop now and make a mortar team. It's roughly as far as a mortar team shoots.
I don't have space in my base.
Yes, me lord. Right.
Well, there is space where that peasant is, but it's at the back. Yeah.
Okay, I found it.
Off I go then.
Okay,
It
good.
still will take some time for me to understand exactly the spacing and everything. It's a bit awkward for me to place because there is no like grid showing in the ground as I place things.
Yeah, that's true. It's feeling based.
Yeah, that feel like that might take some time. Okay.
And you make a mortar team.
Oh, upkeep.
So mortar team, yeah, you're getting punished for going over, right? Mortar team is like, yeah, kind of like a trebuchet and a mangonel in one. Wow, we're killing rifles.
I don't want the upkeep, man.
It's being an upkeep so much. You got 3.3k gold.
Still, I'm greedy. Okay.
Oh, by the way, critters, you can just kill them because they end up body blocking.
Critters? What are critters?
You see, there's like a chicken and a frog in your base.
What is it now? Hello. This battle is over.
Right over. Yeah, there we go. Jesus.
Got him.
Yeah. Okay, so take the mortar team and use the attack ground command to the right side of your town hall. out of
Let's
what you
see.
think is its range, and then you get to see its range.
Wait, so attack range, where exactly did you want me
Attack ground to the right side of your town hall.
We'll do it in a jiffy.
to? Okay. And
Yeah,
that's
like
the
that.
range, roughly the range where the heroes will be affected by the...
Yeah, just to be on the safe side, stand outside of that range, and then you
Okay.
should be good.
Okay, okay. So roughly half
Now,
a screen for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
horizontally, right? But
yeah.
vertically, it's more than half.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when it comes to what if both heroes are both not nearby a creep and it dies? They also share 50-50.
It's on.
Wait. Repeat?
If you're creeping with units only and both your heroes are at home and not even remotely near and definitely outside of that mortar attack range
On our
distance, so your heroes are at home,
Uh-huh.
your units are in the top left creeping, XP is globally attributed to all available heroes
Ah.
anyway.
Interesting. So, yeah, so in theory, it only changes if I have one hero nearby.
Yeah, it changes who gets it. You
Yeah.
can only change this by having one nearby and then the other not. Otherwise, both get it when they're near, both get it when they're far.
Okay.
Now, here's another special XP mechanic. If you are tier 2 or tier 3 and you only have a singular hero, you get bonus XP from all sources, both enemy units and creeps.
So there is a strategic option to stay one hero.
Yeah, it's 15% bonus while you're in tier 2, and it's 30% bonus while you're in tier 3.
Okay. Interesting.
The moment you start training another hero from the altar, that bonus is lost.
Okay.
Even if that hero ends up dying, it's still lost. It's about ever having started a second hero. That's where you lose the bonus. If you cancel the hero because you change your mind, you get it back again, but only if it had never been made yet and it is not currently in production.
Okay, so if I produce a hero and it's 99% and I cancel it, those 99%, I was missing the XP bonus.
Correct.
Okay.
So sometimes, like, I'll rush to tier 2, I start another hero, but I'm about to kill this fat level 5 creep.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'll just cancel it. My second hero is 5 seconds later, but I get that 15% bonus XP on my main.
Gotcha. One question. Is there any blacksmith upgrades or upgrades in buildings that affect my heroes? In terms of, like...
Nope.
Okay, so heroes are purely based on their level and their skills.
Correct. And go ahead and hover over the golden head with the blue brains in the unit UI of a hero.
Golden head with the blue brains, yeah. Hero
You
attributes.
click your hero, and then you'll see an icon in the middle bottom. Yeah.
Strength,
see
agility,
it?
intelligence.
So strength is health and hit point regen. Agility is armor, which is damage reduction from physical sources, and attack speed. And then there's intelligence, which is mana and mana regen. And then every hero has a primary attribute where it also increases their attack damage when carrying that stat attribute.
Okay. Yeah, the Mountain King is all about damage, I see. No, actually,
he's all about
tanky.
strength.
Yeah, he's tanky. Strength.
Yeah. Tanky, regen, and then low attack speed, low armor, and low mana.
Right.
Okay, cool. Let's
Just one follow-up question here.
Yep.
Do I always want, like, whenever I'm creeping or fighting or everything, do I always want to use, for example, my water elemental spell at all times?
Not necessarily. So water elemental costs 125, and it's weaker at level 1. Let's say if you're level 2.8, and you have 160 mana, and you start a creep camp, if you creep it without, you're gonna level up. You're gonna get unlocking the level 2 water elemental spell.
Right? So I want to save for that instead, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, you want to level up first and then make a better one. And because water elementals only last for a short time, you're actually going to find that if you summon it somewhere irrelevant, that you're not going to be able to bring it into a next relevant location. They're also pretty slow. So if you make it only a small green camp and then you go to a red camp, it won't reach there on time to tank the damage. So you got to be a bit strategic about where you summon them.
Yeah.
You don't want to oversummon. And the other thing is, when you level up, you gain more health and mana, which also means you have a percentual maintenance of your health and mana when you level up.
Okay.
Your total stats go up, so your current mana directly adds bonus mana points the less you spend.
Okay. So I want to have
Before
as big
leveling
of a bank as possible when I level up.
Correct.
I noticed here I was trying to use a skill, but this unit was immune to magic.
Yeah.
Is that only neutral spawns, there will also be units in the game that are immune to magic, like from the enemy.
Something you just have to know, it's all the golems.
I like that. Just have to know. It'll come over time.
Yeah.
I still think,
Golems are immune to magic.
yeah, I still think my biggest issue, no matter what, will be distinguishing units and knowing exactly what units of each race is. But of course, that's something that comes.
That's a knowledge thing, but
Yeah.
graphically, I think the game does a pretty good job of showing like very disparate silhouettes.
Yeah. I mean, I can easily tell that these all 5 different units are different, obviously. But in the
Right.
heat of the battle, when I have enemy units as well of a different race, where they look different, my units, their heroes look different, it can get a bit overwhelming. But again, I think that's just a thing that comes over time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's take these 3 riflemen and go to the top green camp. I want to show you something about creep targeting logic.
Would the creep ever attack my peasants that are up there as they're getting close?
Yes, if they gather too close, yes, they will. In daytime. In nighttime, everyone is asleep from the creeps, except, guess,
Night units.
golems.
Oh, the magic guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so when you start attacking the creeps, they will attack the thing within everything that's in their range. They'll attack the thing that attacked them first,
Okay.
which makes sense. Even when something else comes closer later, they will keep attacking the thing that is in range. So if you want to remove a
boar.
rifleman, just like a boar in AoE4, right?
And AoE2. No, in AoE2, right? In AoE4, the boar will attack what's closest.
Oh yeah. This is like AoE2.
Yeah.
They follow the initial aggressor so long as it's still in range. The moment it goes out of range, they will usually not chase.
Ah!
Ignore this.
Yeah.
I know it's hard. We're going to quit this game soon. Just
good.
look at the rifles and ignore the sounds. Attack the turtles. Yeah. Okay. Now you pull them away. They retarget, right?
Yeah.
Now put all of the rifles next to the big turtle. Okay. Take the rifle that is being attacked. Stop over microing. Take the rifle that's being attacked and issue an attack command on your workshop.
Oh,
Did you see what happened?
they changed the target.
So he doesn't want to attack things that are attacking a player. He doesn't want to attack units that are targeting another player, even if that player is yourself.
But it doesn't have to be a building, right? 'Cause I was targeting my own units here as well.
Right, it can be a unit or a building.
Okay.
So creeps choose not to attack those units that are engaged in an attack command on a human player.
Okay. So
So he chooses from all the other valid targets who are not currently attacking a human player, either their units or buildings.
So there will be all the valid targets that are attacking it and the creep.
Exactly. Or
Okay.
are just on simple move commands. Doesn't have to be attacking anyone so long as they're not attacking a player.
Okay.
You can also, so now that is called the deny micro. I just made that term up. You are now denying them to attack that rifle because the rifle was given a command to attack a player.
Right.
You can also do a deliberate retargeting where you take all available units and attack your own water elemental for just 1 second.
Uh-huh.
The attack
Then-
doesn't even have to trigger. Like
Yeah.
some have a big wind up of the attack
Uh-huh.
that doesn't even have to fully trigger. And then the creeps will attack that unit instead.
Yeah, makes sense. That's a nice trick.
Found this out much later, but now it is pretty common in doing efficient creeping where you don't take too much damage. So if you remember on your first camp, the ogre warrior, the level 3 ogre, was hitting your footman. Now footman is something you want to bring into the map, so you don't want it to take any damage.
Yeah.
It's better to have it retarget on your water elemental or on your archmage, and then make sure that the footy remains fully healthy.
Okay. So in theory, when I send my water elemental first, always, anyway, ideally.
Yeah.
And as long as they all start attacking the water elemental, I will not have to retarget or do any micro there, right?
Correct. That's true. But there are a lot of exceptions. So if the water elemental gets ensnared by accident,
Right, then
or
they will
if some
switch.
melee units cannot reach it, then yeah.
Right. I lost to easy AI.
You had a bit of a gold bank. You should try to use it, man.
Ah, right.
We're gonna start a one-on-one against each other, but it's purely for demonstration purposes. And we'll do the same build opener as you practiced this week or last week. Except this time we want the third farm and we want to make like 4 or 5 footmen.
Yes, I'm not doing what I did just now. I'm doing what we did last time.
Yeah, more farms, more footies. The exact builder doesn't matter too much. I mean, for fun, you can compare it to mine to like check for speed, but that's not what we're practicing. We're practicing some unit micro.
More work? What? Ready to easy. I can't build that. All right. Yes, me lord.
This is a hard wall.
More gold is required. More gold is required.
You're going for the frontal design.
But you can see my... Oh yeah. Oh, we're allies.
No, we're not allies. I chose for an always visible custom game option.
Okay.
You have a nice spot for a tower, though that will represent a full wall off once you add the tower behind the farm.
Ready to work.
Would it fit behind that farm?
Yep. It's 2x2.
Yes, me lord.
Farms and scout towers are 2x2. Altar is like 3, and workshop and barracks are 4.
Ah, yeah, I see where I can fit it. That feels like... To me, I feel like I should not be able to fit it there.
Bit late on the second farm.
Oh, the second... Oh, I may have forgotten something.
All good.
I'm just gonna place it anywhere.
We're not testing the efficiency of your build here. If we were, I probably shouldn't be talking.
Ready to work.
I spent most of my time trying to figure out where the tower fit. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
More work.
So while we're setting this up, there are 2 ways you can micro your early army. You can put everything in control group 1, and this is generally easiest when you're just navigating around and finding creeps and going from place A to place B to place C. You can regroup before engagements or when you're expecting engagements, or as it breaks out and you realize there's a need. And then you could do Water Elemental and Archmage in group 1 and Footies in group 2, which would allow you to constantly attack with Archmage.
That's
And
probably
use your
how I would
footies.
do it, yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then you would use your footies for a surround or flank or cut off or weaving in micro patterns.
Yeah.
Yes, me lord. Yes, me lord. Done.
Well, get on. Well,
Ready for action. What do you need?
More work.
Orders. Say the word. Yes, my
you
lord.
require my assistance?
Oh, you're already creeping?
Of course.
Cheater.
Already finished.
Get on.
More gold is required.
I'm just waiting
Sometimes
right now. Was I supposed to creep as well, or just wait?
you can creep, but it doesn't matter. I'm just we're just waiting till you have 5 footies, and then we'll meet in the middle.
Yes, my
Okay.
lord. Say the word.
Almost there. If I...
What do you need?
No, that doesn't change anything. Never mind. I see you're leaving the water elemental to finish those creeps.
Yeah, just 1 creep. Now I'm exactly level 2.
Ready for
Okay.
action.
Because, I mean, your hero will still get the HP, so that kind of makes sense.
XP, yes, correct.
Yeah. And you have a I mean, your water elemental didn't finish it, so...
Yeah, not the second one, but everything except that one level 1 constitutes level 2.
Okay. So it's not a big deal that you left that null
Yeah.
poacher.
You want level 2 with Archmage as fast as possible normally, just because that gives you Brilliance Aura, and then you can start the extra mana regen quicker.
Right.
Plus the bonus points of intelligence. If you look at your Archmage and mine, compare the attributes, and that's
45,
always
25.
consistent. It's not RNG or anything. 1 strength, 2 agility, and 3 intelligence.
Right.
And it works with decimals, so for some heroes, you'll sometimes gain
Get on with
that many points in those stats, and then the next level it will be like a smaller breaking point, and the next level it will be a bigger breaking point. This is completely predetermined for all heroes, how much attribute points they get per level.
Okay.
What do you
you
need?
require my assistance?
Okay, here's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna show you something, and then you're gonna try to do the same thing.
Yes, my lord. Orders.
So you notice how footmen, when you send them somewhere, they have kind of a formation.
Yes, 3 and 2 in the back.
Orders.
What is it?
But notice when I move directly towards you, you would expect those footies to orient towards you with their formation.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not.
Say the word. Aye, my lord. Aye.
They have a formation, but they do not turn completely towards you. They roughly stay in their own respective location.
Uh-huh.
Yes, my
That's very different, isn't it, from
is very
Age of
different.
Empires?
Of course.
So that means that you can kind of loosely pre-form formations that you think are conducive to a certain task at hand. For example, if I do this, this is a self-made formation. This is not like some hotkey. It is not where the game normally assigns them towards.
All right.
But now if I move towards you, that is what they'll roughly keep.
Yeah.
Orders. Yes, my
They
And they
will-
slowly go back to formation.
Yeah. So they always go into the formation upon landing on your clicked location.
I don't think so.
On my way.
Oh, they do. Yeah,
Say the word.
that's true.
Yes, my
Happy to help.
Get on.
That's true.
Say the word.
But like you can predetermine like
Of course.
it's only when they arrive though that they will enter the formation they're supposed to. I mean they're slowly trying to get into the formation. It looks
Yeah.
like,
Of course.
but
Yeah, true.
you still have the somewhat spread
Orders. On my way.
Yep.
until like for the first couple of meters.
Yeah, exactly. And there's zero catch-up mechanic. They
Yeah.
cannot go over their movement speed in order to fulfill the formation.
Right.
And there's also, they can body block and trip over each other. So if I were to send 30 units from my base to yours, they'll almost always arrive single file.
Yes,
Okay.
right. Orders.
And therefore you want to have like gather up moments before engagement so you don't arrive single file.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense.
Say the word.
Pressing hold
Orders.
means that they will fight back, but they won't go anywhere.
Orders.
Stop is they'll auto-acquire new targets within their vision range.
Mhm.
And if you move command on your own unit, they will move towards your own unit, but not all the way per se. Try giving a move command on your own Archmage with your footman.
Aye, my lord. Do you need?
What is it?
Yes, my
Oh yeah, move
You
is,
do move and then left click.
Say the
Notice
Okay.
the range they stop at. That's
Yeah.
about 300 range.
Require my
Mhm.
assistance?
Now give another move command on your Archmage.
What do you need?
They get closer,
Orders.
maybe 200 range,
What do you
150,
need?
and then you do it again.
Of course.
Still not full melee, but closer. This is about 100 range. And now we're touching.
On my
Yeah.
way. Say the word.
Get on.
So if you take a loose formation of your footies and you kind of make like a circle, you make that pre-formation that I showed you before, where they kind of have a circle where there's a campfire in the middle and they're warming themselves by the fire. Now you're going to move around your Archmage. Not yet, only when I say. You're going to move around your Archmage,
What do you need?
and then you're going to spam movement commands on yourself to make that 300,
Yeah.
200, 150 gap happen as quickly as possible.
Right. On my way. Aye, my
You
lord.
require my
Okay.
What do you need?
That's good. And then you corrected it. Perfect. And that's a surround. So you're trying to see if you get lucky at once with a full surround.
Say the word.
Warcraft 3 grid uses a north, south, east, west logic. So it is much easier to surround northeast, southwest
Uh-huh.
Say the word. Yes,
than
my lord.
northeast,
On my way.
southeast,
Right.
northwest, southwest.
Aye, my lord.
Yeah.
Say
So
the word.
yeah, you want to be 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock for a surround. So you could remove one footy and like the bottom right footy can be removed and he's still fully surrounded.
You require my assistance?
Now, if you were to take those 4 footies, you select those 4 footies and you issue a move command on one of your footies,
Say the word.
hypothetically recreating a misclick, like you're trying to move, you break it. They're now trying to get closer to that left side footman and you've broken this around. So proper micro would constitute constantly spam clicking move on the Archmage,
Aye, my lord.
but you could mess it up if you accidentally move command on your footman once.
Right.
Say the word.
Well,
Yes, my lord.
Once you think you've got it, you can either press H for hold, which is really safe, or you can right click the Archmage, which has a chance of misclicking.
Yeah.
Like if you click on the ground, they're gonna open up again and make formation.
get on with it.
How often is this used in a competitive game?
Every single game, multiple
really?
times.
Sick.
Yeah. Now, if you, let's say if I'm at danger of being surrounded,
Mm-hmm.
I could do this, put it towards the south, use the water elemental to break out.
Yeah.
And that can work with any unit.
And the sole purpose of this is pretty much to make sure you don't get surrounded by enemy units. And like
It-
protect your hero.
Like the water elemental, you mean?
No, just the general idea of surrounding your own hero.
Yeah, you can surround your own unit, your own hero, in fact. But the point is that the Archmage hypothetically represents the opponent's hero.
Oh, this
So,
is
like, you're-
an idea of this is a demonstration to show how to surround the enemy hero.
exactly, exactly.
And you can move command on the enemy hero.
Yeah, correct.
Ah, okay.
And you'll never get that if you right-click them or if you attack on them.
Ah, I thought you were explaining like a defensive mechanism to defend your own hero.
Well, we do that as well. You just jump to point number 7.
Right. Okay,
So
fair enough.
now I'm gonna walk to your town center and try to block me and surround me.
What do you need? Yes, my liege. Aye, my lord. On my way.
is it now?
Orders.
Stop running so fast.
You need.
I didn't touch. I just did one move command, right?
Come back.
Now you tried to do the same thing with your archmage, and I'll try surround. And I'm just gonna say in advance, I'm not definitely gonna get it. It's a creative process.
Ah. Okay, so you can body block by clicking more.
Yeah.
So you
So
have
I
priority.
initially failed, but then I did like a body block with one of them, and it succeeded on the second try.
Okay, but so how does the priority work in terms of movement?
Well,
Is it whoever
Yep.
clicks the latest?
Well, that's lesson number 2. It's whoever is closest to the direction that you are clicking. So how a movement command in Warcraft 3 actually works is like even just a simple right click. The way it works is the game tries to compute the available walking distance, the walking space, and it actually does incremental waypointing, invisible.
Okay.
So if I were to click this footman to the right side of your archmage, what it would actually do is it would do a movement command nearby your archmage to the left of it, then move around it with a kind of predetermined logic, and then go back to the point. So I'm gonna right click to your archmage. Oh, don't try not to move.
I'm just wondering if I move away, does it still do the incremental waypoint, or does it?
We will test that next. So he starts going around already, and then he went around. So now if I do the same thing, start moving away now, and he actually goes forward. But there was still a bit of a lilt to his movement. Did you see that?
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah.
get on with it.
Yeah, even though you were gone already.
Yeah.
So you can mess with your opponent's way pathing, especially the less movement commands they give to correct the underlying wave movement points. You can mess with it by constantly standing in a different spot so that the game has to recalculate how to get around. And what it could look like is like this. I'm going to show you first, and then I'm going to try to do it to you, okay?
Okay.
My archmage is going to try to go home. I give it one movement command home and do nothing else.
Yeah. You can stagger it by just spam clicking.
Yeah, even though he's faster.
Yeah.
And he could go around. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the footy while also trying to give my archmage pathing to go around. And the way you generally want to do that, you want to think in 90-degree angles. So if I'm trying to go to the right side and there's a footy, like someone with his tongue between his mouth, he's like, hey, I'm going to try to block you. You're going to try to... well, everyone has their tongue in their mouth. I mean, between their lips, you know, the try-hard face.
I can envision it, yes.
Instead of trying to go past in this direction, where you can easily get body blocked, like so, you should go north and then east.
Yeah.
And he's going to anticipate that. So you can also do north, psych, south, and then east. All right, now try to get your archmage to my town center, to my town hall.
Say the word.
Only your archmage, not the footies.
Whatever. Perfect. Fine.
Stop chasing me, man.
Perfect. Fine. I can hardly wait. Whatever.
Nerd.
Try hard, nerd. So you made it past.
Yeah.
And that's really good. Now try to go home, past my footies, and I'll try a surround, and you'll try like don't get surrounded.
Well, perfect. Fine.
You can't go over the forest, okay?
Whatever.
Yeah, it's actually quite like.
Whatever.
Yeah. So you can start to feel how another player's thinking,
Yeah.
like on a very deep level, and sometimes you suddenly know there's a way out just from their movement. It's very feeling based.
But it seems
Okay.
very risky to move amongst enemy units then with your hero.
What is it?
In this manner, yeah, it's risky. Now select your. Actually, go ahead and make a 6th footman if you like, and you can try to surround my archmage.
Orders.
4 is enough, but 6 is easier, especially because the way that the grid manifests, you're gonna actually have 2 layers of units automatically, rather than like, yeah, this shape, which it normally has.
Ready for say the word.
Okay, if you can send Archmage away for a bit so he doesn't free hit me and I end up dying,
Right. On my way.
try to surround. I'll
I'm
stay
already
near.
Aye, my lord. Let me out.
Ah,
You need
forgot to click.
orders? Right. Attack! On my way. Of course. Aye, my lord. Right. On my way. On my way.
Well,
Job done.
What?
Lord
Thought you were trapped there.
Say the word.
I thought so too.
Right. On my way. Right. Aye, yes, my lord. You need course. Orders. On my way. You need
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, you had it for a second. Did you see that? If you had spammed hold the moment it registered,
Aye, my lord. You need say the on my way. Orders. Yes, my lord.
in theory, there should be no attacks at all. It shows that you're not just doing
Yeah,
right clicks.
I was doing
around me.
right click.
Ah, you got it! Yes.
Okay.
Your first surround.
Right. On my way.
Now I think it's also time to admit that during last
What do you need?
time we played Warcraft 3 2-on-2, you said, "Oh, I did a surround," and I said, "Yes, you did." Actually, you didn't. I did
Say
it.
the word. Right.
Uh,
You need. Of course.
I don't remember that.
Say the word. Right.
I think if I said it, I probably made a joke because I probably knew that you were microing at everything.
Okay.
You need.
I
This
would,
was your first surround. This is memorable.
I would not take any credit for anything in this game at this point.
Okay.
Not yet.
There's another way to do a surround,
Say the word.
and it's like this. If you look at my Archmage and my footies,
Mhm.
I'll send them all in a loose formation around, roughly to each position,
Mhm.
and then do the move command.
Yeah.
Almost can't fail. And this is especially easy if someone is storm bolted. So rather than trying to
Right.
mess with RNG and trying to hope that my formation is going to be good enough when I like spam the movement, when chances are it's not. If you do storm bolt, you can actually be like this, pum 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 pum, and then
Yeah.
you control each one separately for a small period of time.
She's stunned for 5 seconds.
Yeah. Heroes are stunned less long. Stormbolt doesn't say that, but heroes have a kind of hero resistance,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's 3 seconds on a hero.
Okay.
Okay,
Another
now
one
let's try
thing
a
you just
body
have
block.
to know, right?
These are things you have to know. Yeah, heroes have resistance to everything. So
Right.
an ensnare from an Orcish Raider is 10 seconds, but on a hero it's only 3. I'm
Right.
very certain about this.
That's a big difference.
Big difference. Take one footy, remove the rest, and let's do a footy versus footy block.
Yes, my liege. On
All
my
I will
way.
do
Right.
is I'll send it towards your town hall, and you need to buy as much time as possible.
Yeah, are you doing more commands or just one?
One command straight to your gold mine.
Aye, my lord. On my way.
What?
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
Now, what you want to do is you want to get as close as possible, like this. So don't start doing it here. It won't make a difference. Once you're near,
And then
try to anticipate if my footy is most likely going to go north or south. And all you do is you do a 90-degree move up. So you don't try to cut me off diagonally. You do a vertical block in that direction.
yeah, gotcha. I forgot about that. I was just trying straight up and down. That doesn't work.
Say the word.
It's
what you-
directional.
Yeah, what you can also do is interspace the stop command,
Yes, my
S.
liege. Yes, my liege.
So instead of being forced to do all the legwork with right mouse button,
On my way.
you could be
Aye,
like
my
this.
lord. Right.
Yeah.
Of course. Aye, my lord.
And that can be
Right.
nice. And you have one free hand anyway.
Yeah,
Say
yeah.
the word. Right.
All right, let's do it. Give you a bit of distance so you can anticipate.
Mhm.
Just saying it's most likely that my footy will automatically go north rather than south. It will try to choose the shortest route.
Yeah.
So if you're leaning on the top, then I'll probably go below. But I'm not going to touch it after the initial command.
Yes, my
Let's
lord.
go.
What do you need? Aye, my lord. On my way. Right. Of course. On
Very
my way.
nice. That
Aye,
looks
my
good.
lord. Right. Of course. Aye, my lord. Right.
That's great.
On my
That's
way.
great. That
Orders.
you're now at level
Aye,
2000. So the game came out in 2K2. You're now at the 2K4 level.
Nice.
2K4 micro level with body blocks.
Progress.
What do you need?
Let's try one more time.
Orders, of course. On my way. Right. On my way. Aye, my lord. Of course.
Oh.
Right. What What do you need?
Very nice.
Aye, my lord.
So you're
On
getting
my
a
way.
you're getting a good delay there.
Say the word.
Now send your footy to my base,
Say the word.
and I'll try to do it.
Of course.
Nice.
You're ready. You're ready. Brett.
That was nice. Thanks for showing that. So what micro level are you at then?
that was solid 2002. Just got the game, first game.
Nice, nice.
You know, just finished the campaign, and yeah. So you're gonna play a game against Brett, and I'm gonna coach.
Red. Let's go.
Yep.